Hey, this is Kirk.
This is Bird. It's the Kirk and Bird Show. We are joined today by Kecoughtan coach Jeff Super. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Superman.
Yeah, never heard that one before.
Right.
So we want to start off, Coach. Thanks for letting us interview you. We're standing between you and home, and you got there at like 5:30. You started at 5:30, so we're going to wrap this up real quick. We just ask everybody to subscribe to the Kirk and Bird Show. If you want to listen on a podcast, just look us up, the Kirk and Bird Show, BYRD Show. So, Coach, you've got some scrimmages coming up. You've started. We were just talking about how hot it is. You got Kempsville first. We know they are a very good team. Why don't you start off by telling us what you think about the group you have coming in from a team that made the playoffs last year?
Yeah, I like where we're at right now. I mean, we've, obviously we've been going since January, getting after it. Obviously we're on practice 11, I think, at this point in time. We had an inter-squad scrimmage this past Saturday. Obviously there's a lot that we need to improve on. But I think as a group, this is, since I've been here, the first true off season that we've had with the kids from, a long stretch of time for almost 6-7 months. Obviously we got to do several 7-on-7s and, really work our installs throughout the summertime. And, it's time for us to start playing some other people and see where we stand. But, obviously you don't really know anything about your team until you really start playing other people. But I like what I've seen. I've liked the commitment from the kids. So it's just us continuously improving on a daily basis. We got Kempsville, Churchland, and Lakeland, so it'll be quality work for us. We have a schedule for 120 plays, so we'll get a lot of tape. We'll get a lot of different guys in, and we'll see where we stand before and find out who can do it, who can't, and what guys we can depend on going into next week with Grafton as a scrimmage, and then getting ready for Mills Godwin on August 26th.
Coach, who are some of your key returners from last year?
Yeah, so most of our guys, we'll have a pretty strong front four with our defensive line. We obviously returned David Anderson, who unfortunately missed all of last season. But was still able to, earn a Division I scholarship. He's a commit to Duke. We are ecstatic to have him back. And then obviously Elijah Lee will be back, who will be our other defensive end, who was an all-region player last year. So, that will help. And then we have a newcomer that's come to us with A.J. Sims coming from Tab that will help our defensive line. Tavon Jackson, who should be the man in the middle. Our defense should be kind of our strength, and then we should be that much better on our offensive line. And a couple skill positions with Tavon Jackson at wide receiver and Kyrie Corbett. So these are guys that have been around us for 2 to 3 years now. So we really should kind of see them really take that final step for us upcoming.
Okay. What about offense, Coach? Tell us about your offense. What kind of offense you're running? What are your strengths?
Yeah, I mean, so we're going to make a pretty strong commitment to run the football. David Anderson actually has, as he's, actually played wide out for us when we first got here, but he has gotten pretty big. He is now 6'4", about 270 pounds. So he is an athletic freak even for that size. But just based off the team that we have, he's moved that to the offensive line. We return everybody on the offensive line from last year. So that will be a huge plus. And then obviously David sliding in to be an offensive lineman. We have Noel Smith, who will be our quarterback, along with Brady LaRoche. So we have to find unique ways to run the football. That's what we're going to try to do. We've made a strong commitment to that. I've liked the physicality that these guys have taken on throughout camp. We've made no bones about it. I mean, we have got to be a physical group. We got to be able to run the football. We got to be able to play strong defense. We need to be able to take care of the ball, take our shots when we have our opportunities, and just take advantage of scoring situation.
All right. Well, Coach, I'm looking at your schedule, and I think scrimmage in Kempsville, which is going to be a player in Division 5 and over in the beach on the south side, is a great way to start, because that, if you start off with an easy team, your kids so you're going to get a real even set there. But I'm looking at, your schedule, and it just so happens it looks like the meat of the schedule is when you meet, and I don't want to diss any other teams, but when you meet Bethel and then you're going to be playing Phoebus back to back, it sounds like that's when you're really going to get into the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Phoebus is always the one that you kind of circle out because of who they are, and they will be a extremely formidable team. They, in my opinion, will probably be even better than what they were last year. So, for me, it's it's kind of the old coach cliche. We're just taking it one day at a time. We can't overlook anybody. If we do the things that we're supposed to do, then we'll put ourselves in a good position. But make no mistake about it. We are not at the level that we can overlook anybody. We, lost 4 one-score games this past fall.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I couldn't believe that, man.
Yeah, we just, and some of them were just coming down to the wire every night. I mean, our playoff game, I think even after I met with you, we lost on the very last play of the game. So, like I told all our kids, like I've told all our coaches, yeah, we're close, and you can say we're one play here or there, but when you lose 4 one-score games, that's a trend.
Yeah.
So hopefully we've done, we put in the work that we need to close that minor gap. But right now there's a gap, and hopefully we did the things that we need to do, and we'll take that next step, and just hopefully put ourselves in a better position than we did last year.
Okay.
I was going to ask you, like the skill positions, your speed, your quarterback, your wide receivers, maybe slot receivers, running back. How do you feel about them? Because obviously you are going to be a big, strong, physical defensive team. It sounds like, that's the key to your team. But how about when you guys get the ball, putting some points on the board for that defense?
Yeah, we're going to need to be able to. So, obviously, we need to have a really strong defense and special teams, and we need to take advantage of field position. But, Kyrie Corbett is a dynamic player for us. He'll be kind of our slot kind of guy that we move around and, use jet sweeps and try to get the ball in his hands out in space. Tavon Jackson, is a big physical threat. He's about a 6'2", 6'3" kid who, is getting some college interest. But, he was used a little bit last year. We didn't know much about him, but he's, based off workouts, is really taking that next step. So we have skill positions. Cameron Jackson, Jameer Blaney will play running back for us. There's probably not a ton of depth like we had in the past there, the past couple of years, but I like what we have at that starting kind of group. It's just kind of picking our spots and making sure we're utilizing those guys in their correct manner.
Okay. Yeah, and for me, I mean, you can have all the skill position athletes you want, but nothing really works without those big nasties. So you mentioned you have everybody's returning on your offensive line. Can you tell me a little bit about their size? Now, are they big? You got any 300-pounders? Are they a little smaller, more athletic? And then same for your defensive line. Like those to me are the key. What that gets everything going.
Yeah, I put a lot more focus on that, and that's probably something that I didn't do last year well enough. But we have made a huge investment, or I've put a lot of investment into that time and solidifying that group. Obviously David Anderson is a massive kid. We'll put Elijah Lee at tight end, Cameron. I mean, we have some big physical guys. It's really just getting them to develop that mindset. Carlos Corrales will be our center. He's an over 300-pound kid. So we have size up, on that front five, along with, adding in tight ends to our group. It's just really developing that mindset of, them moving the defensive linemen, getting their hands on people, moving people, and us having a smash mouth kind of mentality, because that's really going to have to be our identity, and finding, different ways to run the football. Noel Smith, our quarterback, will be more of a dual threat kind of guy. So we put a lot of investment into the run game. Obviously Kempsville will have coming up will be a really big opponent for us. They'll be massive. So we'll really get a good perspective of, where we stand. But I like where we're at. I think we're up for the challenge, and I know our kids are ready to go.
Coach, what region do you fall into? Because when I think about 5, I mean, you're a playoff team. You're coming back. You got a lot going. You're getting into a groove, and this is a fact. I know you got to be modest, but are you in Maury or Green Run? Because I know they're in separate regions.
We're in with Maury. Yeah, we're in Region 5B.
Okay.
So obviously, Maury is the one that is a huge, they'll be a dominant force again. And then Woodside, Nansemond River.
Yeah, that's right, Woodside.
So Woodside, is a team that we played last year. I thought we might end up having a rematch with them. We played them really tough within the last game of the year. They just ended up kind of making one more play than we did, and Coach Dotson's a really good coach over there. So they're a team that always gets better through time. So we always, they're kind of one of those teams that you
want to get them
probably catch a little bit earlier than later,
right?
So just their style of play with the wing tee offense that they run. When the weather gets nasty and gets a little bit colder and the ground gets a little softer, their game kind of travels with those elements. So, yeah, I mean, Menchville's in our region. There's various teams that we, have to compete with, obviously.
Okay.
Coach, you mentioned, the 3 key areas: offense, defense, special teams. Tell me a little bit about your special team, your kicking game. How's that looking?
Yeah, we have a phenomenal kicker. He is one of the best, if not the best kicker / punter in the area. Brett Starling. So
I went to school with his dad.
We score a lot of teams. A lot of teams will be starting on the 20-yard line because he can just stick the thing through the end zone. So real strong leg. He'll be able to go kick somewhere in college. So,
cool.
But yeah, so that's a huge help. I'm a former special teams coordinator. We start every practice with 30 minutes of special teams. It's a huge emphasis. It's only, on average 8 to 10 plays a game. And we need to make those 8 to 10 plays in the plus category for us. I think that one of the most overlooked things in coaching is, starting field position and, playing the field, like where you start a drive, where you put the team back at. I mean, all of those things. I mean, if you go into any college meeting room, they have a whole percentage chart of where, if you start a drive, what your likelihood of scoring is. And, that's one thing that we have to take advantage of.
Cool. I tell you what, I'm going to put Rusty on the spot. Rusty, how are your Bruins going to do against Kecoughtan?
Easy. Look, we're going to get revenge from last year. Okay. Last year they beat us.
No, we didn't actually. We didn't.
Oh, you
we
did? Wait a minute.
Yeah, we
No,
lost
that's right.
Last year.
I'm sorry.
Y'all made the playoffs, though.
No, that's what it was.
Wow.
We beat you, but we had the same record, and you made the playoffs. That's right. That's what it was. Yeah. So, I think what was the score last year? Was it 7-0?
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember we didn't score, and they had negative yards of offense in the second half. And it was just if there was a way to lose a game,
that's what it was.
If there was a way to lose a game, I found the way. That's for sure.
Yeah, so it was 7-0. That's what it was.
What was even worse about that game was we played that game on a Thursday because I asked for the game on a Thursday because my sister was getting married that weekend. I woke up the next morning. I didn't even want to go to the it was a low moment in the season last year, but
and hopefully she stays married for a very long time. If it doesn't work out, you're really gonna be
I'll give 2 teams some bulletin board material. All right, I think you're going to beat Bethel, and I think you will lose to Phoebus. So tell your kids I'm picking them to lose to Phoebus, and I went to Phoebus, so I'm a homer. But of course,
I'm sure Phoebus is going to be picked to win them all for the most part. So I think
they're going to be tough.
The one that they have that might be a
Bethel.
little bit of a blip was Oscar Smith, but I think, like I said before, I am a firm believer. I mean, Coach Blunt has done a fantastic job there. They coming off a state championship. I believe that they will be even better and more formidable than they were last year. So that game, I think at the end of the season, I think it's November the 5th or something like that.
They're playing. Yeah,
they will give Oscar Smith more of a challenge this year. I'm not going to say who's going to win, who's not, but
I'm not either. Yeah. So
Okay.
let's segue into that real quick, and we're going to let you go because we know how tired you are, and we really appreciate you coming on. What about 5 overall? Because I'm of the belief that top to bottom, 5 is better than 6. No offense, Oscar Smith is the cream on the top. I understand that, but I know Western Branch is tough, and then you get up here, we got some good teams in Prince William County and Madison and Northern Virginia, but 5 is so good. What do you think about the 2 regions for 5 down there? Because you've got Woodside, Kecoughtan, Bethel, you've got Kempsville, Green Run, Maury, all those teams. I mean, what are your thoughts on, because you're going to be navigating some of those teams in the playoffs, and I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. Kecoughtan's making the playoffs this year, especially with that kicking game, Coach. That's big. Getting past the Woodside, maybe seeing Maury.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's probably a more competitive group. Especially with the teams in 5A and 5B. Green Run will be very formidable. Kempsville pretty much returns every single guy. It's crazy about Kempsville last year. Kempsville used to be kind of one of those teams that was a rollover team that everybody was looking forward to playing, and we scrimmaged them last year, kind of thinking, Kempsville, that might be a good look for us, where we're at. And I remember scrimmaging them and looking at my brother saying, that's the 6 or 7 win team. I was like, they're not bad. And then they ended up winning 9 games. So, and they return everybody. So I would assume that they're going to, be very good. And Maury, obviously will be extremely strong. And, we'll just take it one day at a time. And hopefully we'll, be able to meet one of those teams later on in the season.
Right.
Sounds good. Yeah, we're really excited. We're going to hope to get down there to catch a game this year. I may even try to make the Bethel game just so I can.
I'll be looking for you after that.
Any other game, I'll try to stand on your sideline, but for that one, I will definitely be on your sideline against Phoebus, bro. I tell you that.
Okay.
He might need to suit up.
We'll take all the support we can get.
Do you need any 5'7" fullbacks?
You always fullbacks are they're kind of a dime a dozen, or they don't really exist that much anymore.
I know.
We don't discriminate. We can find some place for you.
Hey, I tell you what, I'm a big fan of Kecoughtan in Division 5 because Phoebus is 3. So I would really like to see you guys, jettison into the playoffs and do some damage. You never know. You've got a good team. You got some continuity. We really appreciate you coming on. For the kids out there, please follow us on Twitter. It's at the Kirkenbird. We do a lot on Twitter also. We're on Instagram. You can look us up. But, Coach, thanks for taking the time. Tomorrow's going to be another hot one. We got a little shower up here to cool things down. And then
they expected some thunderstorms in here. So hopefully get outside and get, one more practice in before us.
And Mr. Bird, you're going to scrimmages the rest of the week, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm checking out Forest Park Thursday. My son's school, Colgan, on Friday. And Freedom Woodbridge is going to be scrimmaging DeMatha on Friday at 11 o'clock. So that's going to be a really good one. I'll be doing that. Yep. So look, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck in your scrimmages. I pray that everyone stays healthy. I know as healthy as possible, and keep doing what you're doing, man. We love your program, what you're doing, and the time you're giving us. But the other thing is, I really like the way you promote social media. And so saying that, we have a little coaches challenge. We're going to be interviewing anywhere from 10 to about 15 coaches doing previews. And we're trying to see which coach can get the most views of their video. So let's see if you can get, I think we've already started.
I'll see Bird last night. They're burning it up.
Yeah,
we got Bethel.
And we'll be doing Bethel a little bit later. So let's see which high school can get the most views for their coach.
Sounds good. So,
All right.
All
I know
right.
one day I might not be with the best one you interviewed, but I'm the best looking one you interviewed. So there.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. No question.
Okay.
We seen those guns, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smith and Wesson guns.
So,
Y'all, before we started rolling, Coach was in the back doing some push-ups. It just
yeah. No,
You gotta
definitely.
go on.
I'm tired. I need some sleep. That's for sure.
All right, Coach.
Hey,
All right,
All right,
guys.
man.
I appreciate
Thanks for
it.
coming on. Really appreciate it.
take care. God bless.
All right.
This has been Kirkenberg with Coach Jeff Super, and we are out.
We're out.